Kia ora te whānau and welcome to Catching Up with Community, a program for Community Networks Wellington where we showcase the mahi of our member organisations and what they're up to. Ko Judith Parkington tōko ingoa, and today I'm joined by Julius Serrano. He is a resilience speaker and a results coach who has written a book called The Resilience Code. Kia ora, Julius. Welcome to the program.
Kia ora, Judith. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here. Julius is in his book, he's addressing the challenges that come with working in organisations that care for other people and for vulnerable people. But I'm going to let him talk about that. He's the expert. Julius, tell us how you got into this work, and then we'll take it from there.
Cool. Thanks, Judith. So a little bit about myself. I'm a person who is totally blind. I was born and raised in the Philippines. So I have experienced how it feels like to be the vulnerable person, to feel like a burden, and to receive community and social support. Through the support that I received, I was able to go to school, go to uni, eventually find work, and I've migrated to New Zealand. I've been here for 14 years. I've spent many years in the IT industry as an accessibility consultant. But the common theme in my life has been resilience, being able to overcome adversity and become a stronger and wiser person as a result. So that is how, as I was doing my IT work, one thought always returned to my mind. It's all about, how do I share my story of resilience? So, that's a little bit about, my story and how I thought about the Resilience Code.
Okay, that's good. You've turned that into this system you have of recognizing how people are supposed to navigate their way through all sorts of areas.
Yes.
So the name of the book is The Resilience Code, but the Resilience Code is also a code.
Yes.
So should we talk about that a little bit?
Okay. So let's start with defining what resilience is. Now, there are many definitions. Some people would say it's all about bouncing back from adversity and from hardship. Specifically for community and social services workers, I believe that resilience is the capacity for sustained service and to be able to manage your mental, emotional, and physical resources amidst ongoing and sometimes unrelenting demand.
Yeah. That's something that many of our member organisations will be able to relate to. And I think one of your things is that to avoid random coping, you need a structured approach to this, and that's often what community organisations are doing, is reacting very quickly to high stress situations. So tell us a bit more about the code.
Cool. So the Resilience Code is, designed for, I believe that it applies to many industries, particularly to community and social services workers. It has 4 keys. So CODE stands for create, optimize, develop, and elevate. That's why it's spelled code, CODE. That's why it's the Resilience Code.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to talk about each of the key and how it applies to community workers and social services workers, and as well as how it applies to their clients.
Right. Okay. Great.
Okay.
So that's create, optimize, develop, and elevate.
Yes. So let's start with create, the first key to the Resilience Code. So I have, each key has 3 principles under them. I have carefully chosen the principles that are most applicable to community workers. The first key is all about creating your foundation for resilience. And the first principle or technique under it would be to acknowledge and express your emotions effectively.
Right. Okay.
Society in general demands composure. And I feel it also applies, the society, the culture of the society demands composure. However, emotions that are accumulated can result to burnout and shutting down emotionally. What I'm suggesting when it comes to acknowledging your emotions effectively is to take emotional breaks. When something feels heavy, take just a few seconds before, the next interaction or the next conversation, and just give yourself space to honor what you feel. This is a practical tool for community workers in order for them to avoid burnout and what we call compassion fatigue. And for their clients, it's when a community worker is aware of the need for the client to express their emotions, it can help the client feel heard, which always is the start of meaningful change.
Okay.
So
that's the e-break.
Yes, that's the e-break. It's a practical tool that you can use. It's very accessible and can you do it anywhere. The next key under the creation of your foundation is to harness resourcefulness. Now, I'm very aware that one of the biggest challenges of community service and social service is like funding cuts, financial pressure from experienced by organizations, and even, the emotional resources.
Yeah.
What I'm suggesting is that is to take a moment, maybe it's a meeting between the team, and just identify a resource inventory. What are the things that you already have that you can use in order for you to serve your clients? It could be a free mobile app that you can use, maybe for productivity or for helping you with your work. It could be social support. People, perhaps you have somebody in your social network who is a financial expert who can give free financial advice that you can bring to your client.
Yes.
It could also be a skill that you have outside community service, a hobby, a passion that you can bridge into your service, into your mahi.
Yeah. So it's like doing an audit of what you've got.
Yes, so that you will be prepared. Before the hard seasons come, you already have a list of things that you know are within your reach.
Yeah, I think not only is the financial restraint bigger, but the demand is also bigger. Yes, that's a very good idea to do that. So that's a shift in your appraisal of your resources, not just what you can afford with your money, but what might be there amongst your volunteers or your staff.
Yes. Yeah. And for your clients.
Yeah, exactly.
A resource conversation with empowering questions such as, what can you still do? Who is still in your corner?
Yeah.
What resources do you still have?
Yeah.
So that's all about harnessing the resources. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge CNW, your model of connecting organizations to share knowledge, resources, and wisdom. I think that's collective resources in action.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I think it's a very valuable thing for the organisations that come along and listen to these broadcasts as well. So we're still on creating. Is there something else there that you want to talk about?
Yes, that's acknowledging your emotions and harnessing resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to optimizing
Yeah.
your resilience. When it comes to optimizing your resilience, we're talking about improving what you already have. So the first principle that I think would be very helpful is to nurture positive emotions in your daily work. We all know that burnout creeps quietly through the disappearance of joy and inspiration. What I'm suggesting is to savor small wins. At the end of your shift, if you could take even 30 seconds naming an interaction that went well.
Yeah.
When you do this consistently, not just once, but when you do this consistently, it will help you build a reserve of emotional strength and inner strength. Yeah. And for clients, we all understand that, clients in chronic hardship, they tend to stop registering positive emotions because their minds have been wired for threat, for example.
And survival.
Yes, and survival, absolutely. Being able to just help them notice small moments of safety and connection can be very, very soothing to clients who are in genuine crisis.
Yeah. Okay. Where would you suggest that staff, for example, might get some help with that, or some ideas about how to, acknowledge those moments? Because it can be equally hard for staff, can't it, to remember something good that's happened during the day if they're full on.
Yes, definitely. So, when it comes to there's like pause, the habit of pausing before moving on to the next interaction, just like 10, 15 seconds or even 30 seconds if you have the time.
Yeah.
So the habit of pausing and writing it down can be very, very effective.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Connecting with people, talking about what went well in their day. Because when you talk about positive things, it can accumulate and it has a compounding effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you see the positive experiences of your colleagues. It gives you a clear idea of what's possible and what can happen.
Yeah, thank you for that. So optimizing, do you want to move on to develop, or have we still got more
when
to
it comes to optimizing, so you have nurturing positive emotions in daily work.
Yeah.
Also, another principle that is very applicable is to reframe adversity. Reframing is the process of shifting your perspective to a more empowering one. We all know that, years in community service can result to like adversity fatigue, a state wherein problems appear to be permanent and solutions appear to be impossible. Now, particularly in my book, I have a 4-step process to help you reframe the situation. Here's a quick overview.
Yeah.
The first step is to identify, state the problem in as clear as concise as possible. Second step is to acknowledge the emotions. The third step is to ask empowering questions.
Right.
The third step is the actual shift that you will be able to make.
Right.
When it comes to asking empowering questions, an example would be, what would my most experienced colleague say about this situation? Another thing that would apply is to be able to, what perspective am I not seeing? What could be something that I'm missing in this situation? One suggestion would be to physically move to another place.
Yes.
Physically moving to another place enables your physiology to experience another environment. And avoid looking down. When you're thinking of a new perspective, avoid looking down. I encourage you to look around, look up. It primes your physiology to notice the environment and get ideas from the environment.
Yeah. Let a thought drop into your head.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And of course, we see more and more people looking down at with their devices and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Julius, we're about halfway through our interview.
Yes.
So just conscious of time if you want to move on.
Yes. And when it comes to...
So we've got code, create, optimize, all very useful insights so far. Develop. When
it comes to developing your resilience, you've already created it, optimized it. Now it's all about developing. Developing is all about, number one, building a strong support network. And you already have that. CNW regular meetings, the radio shows, the peer connection. You already have that. Because we all know that community and social workers who carry their mahi alone have a greater chance of experiencing burnout. Just being able to know that you have a community, a support network to encourage you, to share resources, to have coffee with, that is very empowering. And for your clients, just being able to help the client discover or even rebuild one meaningful connection in their life is very transformative for somebody who is experiencing hardship and crisis.
Okay. Yeah.
Another thing about developing is to developing is creating your purpose statement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Purpose is what people in community service have despite low pay, despite being on skeleton teams, despite being emotionally stretched. But what I've discovered is that purpose can erode when there's prolonged strain. Having a purpose statement that you can connect to even on the hardest days would be very, very beneficial. And the way to create a purpose statement is to first discover your core values. It can be your personal core values or the core values of your organization. Core values such as contribution, growth, fun, variety, distilling, and then step 2 would be distilling that into a short purpose statement. Now, I was having a conversation with a community worker who worked in a food bank. I was helping her create her purpose statement. And with her permission, I would like to share that with you.
Yes, please.
Her purpose statement is to be a steady presence for people who have no one else. That's her purpose statement. Right. And she connects with that every time, whenever she's had a hard day, whenever there are difficulties and challenges.
Yes, that is a valuable option, because often purpose statements, or they come from a place that's not necessarily on the ground or hasn't really been thought out. It's rhetoric to some extent. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
And the final key is to elevate your resilience. So you have created it, optimized it, developed it. The next thing to do is to elevate your resilience. This involves inspiring others through your journey. Now, as a community worker, I believe that you have years of experience, the mahi, the discoveries, even the hard seasons that you've experienced is a resource that you can share. For example, for senior community workers, being able to share with the younger colleagues how they were able to navigate burnout is very, very helpful. It also inspires people to join the sector.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They want to go into an organization that's thought about these things rather than, as I say, reacting to stressful situations in a random way. So the word elevate, what you're saying there are you saying to lift the previous 3 code items into action, or do you mean something else by elevate?
Yes, it's to elevate the resilience from the inner resilience to outer results.
Yes. Okay.
And for the final principle, under the elevate key is to be able to develop the resilience, to translate the resilience into outer results. For community workers, it could be having a conversation with a manager to relaunch a program that they're passionate with that has been postponed.
Yes.
Or simply committing to a consistent act of self-care for yourself.
Yeah. And some organisations do that, don't they? They do have well-being half days, or will pay for staff to do something.
Yes.
To soothe them.
Yep.
Okay, so that's we've got about 7 minutes left. So that's your code: create, optimize, develop, elevate, and you've given some very good tools for community organisations. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's what they can do inside the organisation. What does it mean for the people that community organisations are trying to help?
So it also applies because the community workers can apply the keys when having conversations with the clients that they serve. For example, the nurturing positive, we've also discussed nurturing positive emotions. If there's a conversation where they can remind or inspire the idea of something, what is something positive that you have experienced since our last conversation? That could rewire the pattern of people who are in chronic hardship.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to the purpose statement, creating the purpose, I remember reading the report, the Salvation Army report about 90,000 young people outside work, outside education, and outside training.
Yes.
Now I could sense the purposeless survival that these young people are experiencing, and for community workers, or if somebody in that group of young people, if you can start thinking about your values, which means what are the things that are important to you, and your direction, acknowledging where you are and having a vision of an inspiring vision of where you want to be. I believe that purpose is one of the strongest predictors of resilience.
And sometimes it's not about completely transforming a life, is it? It's as working where that person is.
Yes.
And at least maintaining that level with some positivity. Or I mean, you're an example of somebody who has truly risen above hardship to create a life. That's not always possible for everybody, but okay. So how would you suggest that some of these tools could be applied for what I'm trying to say badly is the sort of relentlessness of what could seem like a bad situation that's not going to improve? Is it about looking for the little hook where you can build something?
Putting one of these principles into your calendar so that it can become non-negotiable. Taking maybe 10-15 minutes, implementing just one. You have the resource inventory, you have developing your purpose statement, you also have elevating it, translating your resilience into results. But the first thing that you need to do is to have it on your calendar.
Yeah.
So that it becomes non-negotiable.
Yes,
and
right.
once you've experienced the benefits of it, sharing it with your team.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Two-way experience. Okay. I mean, at the moment, it does seem like even nationally, it's quite a relentless wave of hardship and problems that need to be dealt with. But that's a very big conversation, which we haven't got time for. So you've got 2 or 3 minutes left. Where can people get the book, The Resilience Code by Julius Charles Serrano?
It's available on Amazon. And if you would like to acquire it directly from me, you can email me at hello, HELLO, at juliusserrano.com, JULIUSSERRANO.com.
All right. Julius has a website, which I've forgotten. Julius.
Yes, it's Julius.com. JuliusSerrano.com.
Oh, JuliusSerrano.com.
Yeah, JuliusSerrano.com.
And Julius's name, and we'll add those details, will be on the Community Networks Wellington newsletter just prior to this interview going live.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else you would like to say in the last couple of minutes?
Thank you very much, dear listener, for sharing your time with this conversation, and thank you for your great mahi.
Well, thank you very much, Julius. It's been quite inspirational having you in the studio and talking to you about the effort you're prepared to put into helping others help others. So thank you very much for coming in, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Thank
Kia
you.
ora. Thank you.